know Stephen A. Smith gave us fair warning yesterday when he was on ESPN First Take that he was going to go at Jason Whitlock, and I'm here to tell you he did just that. Now, this has been a battle that has been going on in the media space for the last 2 years. Stephen A. Smith claims in his podcast that he's been battling it out with Jason Whitlock for over a decade. Now, I don't know the history between these two guys. I only know Jason Whitlock. I've seen Stephen A. Smith in passing a few times, but I can tell you this. Whatever it is, I just hate to see this for two brothers that can't come together as being big dogs in this media space to not get this figured out. Now, for whatever reason, Stephen A. Smith is making it his business to say it is personal between him and Jason Whitlock. Now, like I was saying, Jason Whitlock, to me, he's a solid dude. He does a lot of stuff for clicks. He does a lot of stuff to stay trending. That's the name of this game, bro. You got to stay trending because if not, you will fall off a cliff faster than a rock hitting the ocean, bro. I ain't lying. You got to make sure you still relevant in this space, especially in the sports media game, because it's so many competitors. How could you make yourself different? I don't think what Jason Whitlock does is right, but it's genius in a way because for the simple fact, he's going at the biggest commentator in the business, Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith is responding to him. So at the end of the day, whatever Jason Whitlock is doing is calculated and it's psychological because Stephen A. Smith went out of his way yesterday to respond, and we finna listen to a lot of this, man. So this is the first part of it that I want to share here with you guys, exactly what Stephen A. Smith opened up yesterday and said. Let's play it.
Somewhere along the way, you know what I'm contemplating doing, Jason? I haven't made a decision yet. But I'm thinking about starting a GoFundMe account for you.
Whoa!
Because clearly you're that desperate. That's why you talk about me so much. Look at your numbers when you're talking about me and look at your numbers when you don't. I keep you relevant. That's perhaps the worst insult of it all. Fat bastard Lock.
Wow.
That's the title of the GoFundMe account. Fat bastard Lock. That's for you, my brother. Contrary to what you're willing to tell Blaze Media, you used to do that a lot, didn't you? After all, that's the only chance you had of getting some. Needless to say, probably didn't work for you either. Because if anybody needs something, it's you. Cam Newton, next time, my brother, because you know I love you, you gonna interview somebody and bring me up? Don't just sit there and let them talk shit. Ask questions. Let them prove it. I'm a fraud? How? What facts do you have? I'm sitting there doing an interview with Graham.
So he called out Cam Newton.
Messenger the other day, and I talked about how growing up as a teenager, I saw a few people get murdered. Not like literally, oh, I mean, you hear gunshots, oh shit, you turn around and somebody's gone. I'm lying about that according to Jason Whitlock, like he was in Hollis, Queens, New York 40 plus years ago. How would he know? I'm a fraud, and do you believe this or that? I'm a fraud. How do you know? I didn't write my own book. How do you know? If you're going to bring me up and you're somebody that's in my inner circle and you talk to me, grill them. Don't just let them talk smack. For those of you who haven't heard the interview, I encourage you to go listen to it because Cam otherwise did a fantastic job. And I love that brother. And I'm going to show up on this show as well. I bet you he'll have better questions for me than he did for Jason Whitlock, Emmanuel Acho, Marcellus Wiley. I have my disagreements with y'all from time to time, but I appreciate y'all comments about me. Play that, please. Both of them, back to back, so people could know how supportive they were of me.
It sounds like a hater. Because, again, say what you will about Stephen A., and I've said a lot. Stephen A. is the best
Yep.
in the business. And it is not particularly close.
Now, I have to agree with Emmanuel Acho. If we're talking big dog, mouthpiece on Swole, the best takes, the most animated, the lay it all out there on this microphone, Stephen A. Smith. That's why he's the $100 million voice. I done been on Jason Whitlock's show. I done met Emmanuel Acho. I done been around some of the biggest people in sports media. And I can honestly say, as somebody that works in sports media, Stephen A. Smith is goals. Not just because he got the $100 million, because he single-handedly made his own lane. People can say what they want. People can say what they want about the way he did it with ESPN, kind of using him in their minds. But at the end of the day, if we're talking take for take, more viral moments, more clicks, more hits, it's the reason why Disney gave that brother $100 million, dog. He him. Say what you want, not like him. It don't matter. You're going to watch. I don't care, bro. I got to keep it real. I'm a real one.
So Jason Whitlock, to me, he might be right about Stephen A's basketball career. Who cares? Stephen A's not a pro basketball player. But he's dead wrong about Stephen A on TV.
I think this was a low ball move for sure from Whitlock, but it's on brand for him. And unfortunately, sometimes people just have a brand.
What's crazy is like he's such a good villain.
No, he's a great villain. Like I said, I give him credit for that. Like he gets a good villain. He goes at
like women and children.
Yeah.
Like he does like the criminal thing you're not supposed to do. Any marginalized community, he's like, they can get it.
Yeah.
The mentally handicapped, don't
Come
care.
on, man. Dropping the R word in 2026, you don't care. You don't care
at all.
He doesn't care.
Bro, he all right, bro.
And then the worst part, though, he does it all under the guise of Christianity. That's the worst part. Like he does it all under.
Modern context. A lot of people do that under the guise of Christianity.
Right? But like, it's the craziest thing.
Tell me if this thought bubble is going in your head. Okay, even if it is a lie, that's why you hate him? Is because he's a fraud and he lied his way into this position? It's a lot of ways into it, but doesn't the end justify the means? I don't know. Some guys have lied themselves into great positions.
Now, Marcellus Wiley is a very close friend of Jason Whitlock, man. This like one of his homeboys, bro. Somebody he talked to. I know that verbatim. Him and Marcellus Wiley was close. They was on the show together. They partners. So for Marcellus Wiley to go out of his way to kind of fix what Jason Whitlock did is crazy to me, bro, because he one of his guys.
Remember in the game when they were giving out all the jobs to the best players? Remember there was a day with Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith, and they didn't do the best in media, but they gave them the job because they were the best at sports. Then we realized, nah, we don't need to give it to the best. We need to give it to just who can entertain, who can inform, right? So if Stephen A. didn't have the best sports career, does that really negate the fact that he is the best in sports media, the biggest in sports media? That's my thought bubble. Tell me if y'all had the same one.
I want to say thank you for that. I really mean it. Not just to Emmanuel Acho, but even to the curly-haired, light-skinned cat, don't know his name right now. They tried to call me out over the Zion Williamson thing. All I would ask in the future, fellas, is that when y'all talking about me, particularly with the Zion situation, could you do your homework? Because it's one thing to watch the league, it's another thing to cover it. What I said about Zion,
So that was Stephen A. Smith, man, kind of firing back at Speakeasy commentators. But at the end of the day, man, Stephen A. Smith, one of the ones, dog. And I like Jason Whitlock. I like him. He cool dude. And we got to keep it real here. You know, you got to hold your people accountable if they make some irregular comments. You know, do I agree with a lot of stuff Jason Whitlock says? Yes, I do. But it's a whole bunch I don't agree with, which everybody is entitled to their opinion, how they feel about one set person. I wish Jason Whitlock the best moving forward. I don't think his podcast is going to be hurt or anything by any of his takes with Stephen A. Smith. If anything, it helped it. So him playing that so-called villain role is definitely working out for him. Do I think he need to leave Stephen A. Smith alone for a while? Yeah. Yeah, I think he need not speak about him for a while because a lot of people was coming at him, and over time, that could eventually hurt his brand. But guys, definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I am John the Liquidator. This has been another episode of the Liquidator Report, man. Until next time, peace out.